Good morning, CPI, and greetings from the Netherlands. I'm going to talk to you about sales, which might not make sense at first glance, but there's something very important that sales and doing outreach have in common, and that is a lot of the way how you communicate. You're talking to someone who has no obligation to talk to you, and at any moment, especially if you say something they don't like, they can just choose to quit the conversation, move on with their day, and leave you with no results. Of course, you don't want to waste your time on such conversations. These are antagonizing, they can ruin your day, and they don't get you the results you want. So if you want to get a certain result out of a conversation, the first thing you need to know is the person you're talking to, what do they care about? If you're trying to get them to do something, you need to know what motivates them, why they think about things the way they do, why they care about the things they care about, what the things they care about are, etc. Well, there's only one way to figure that out, and that is by listening to them. Now, in the day and age of social media, this does tend to get a bit tricky because listening to people is a skill that is found, you find them few and far between, so to speak. And that is because in the age of social media, the only thing you're trained to do, of course, is to transmit your opinion, your views into the world. And if you go into the street with that mindset, you are not going to get anything done, because whatever you're trying to orate to people, they have no inclination or inherent reason to hear you out. So a better thing to do is to ask questions which make you learn something about who they are, where they come from, what they find important, and so on. Now, if you view this as a sort of game, a sort of social engineering trick to get something done, well, if you're very good at it, you might be successful. But if you're not, then you're probably also just wasting your time, because intuitively people feel that. So don't just act like you're interested in what they have to say. Be interested. So don't go into it with the mindset, I want to hear this person out so I can take what they say, formulate an argument based on that and try to convince them. No, you need to form a sort of bond, however surface level it's going to be, talking to someone for the first time on the street, to form a bond, to really commit to knowing who they are, what they care about, to care about that. So if you get that kind of conversation, not only do you find things out, not only do you broaden your view of the population in general, gain a broader understanding of what kind of people are out there, how people think, which is of course very important and in my opinion very interesting. But by doing so, by genuinely being interested, you also sort of buy the social credit, which sounds very transactional, but for lack of a better term, for them to actually be curious what you're about. So if you want to convey what you want onto them, the best thing to do is basically to keep asking them questions, probing further and further, discover who they are until they start to be curious. Okay, why? What is your motivation? Or what are your deeper views on this? Why are you asking me these specific questions? Not only does that bring you a whole lot closer to getting what you want in doing outreach, namely trying to get your message across to people, and depending on what you're doing outreach for specifically, potentially signing people up to go along with whatever action or get together you're trying to put on. But also, it is a way that if you do this successfully, it's just fun. We're social creatures, and having these kind of conversations with people and bonding with people on the surface level and doing that over and over again, if you're out in a busy place on the street for maybe 3-4 hours talking to dozens of people and getting a lot of pleasant conversations out of it, then your day will be better, genuinely. than if you're just at home typing away on the internet, or if you're going out in the street with a mindset, I must convince people of my opinion, and then you find people are not interested in hearing you out in the first place. So if you really find a way to hold on to this mindset when you're doing outreach, not only will your outreach be much more successful, but your day will also be better.